Welcome back to Case Closed Anime Review episode number 43. This one reviewing the 7th OVA from the Case Closed series, which is called A Written Challenge from Agasa. Agasa versus Conan and the Detective Boys. Unlike the last OVA, this one is a heck of a lot better. For the most part, and like the last one, it felt like a waste of time. Y'all got some random phone call and just trying to get this alarm clock. It was kind of stupid. This one was a heck of a lot better. Like, oh my gosh. It's like you took one of the many treasure plots they have of the series having, well, George, Mitch, and Amy go on a scavenger hunt looking for the professor, who decided to be faked kidnapped. Yep. Yeah, fake kidnapped. So they give him some special directions. Of course, they go to this house, basically have a quiz. And of course, oh yeah, he disappears, and apparently he made this whole thing up. Made up this game the night before, and so they decided and left basically a map and some utensils to basically find him. First, to go to a place that was, get this, 5 minutes from their school, 10 minutes from a train station, and 15 minutes from Tokyo Tower. And where did it take him? Well, thanks to using a compass. No, not a thing total direction. It's something you actually use in actual math. Yes, I've used this thing before. It is really difficult to use, and mostly it's used by architects. Yes. And this is something you have to use in high school. It is one particular thing I never liked using in high school because, like, why would I need to use this? Because, I mean, if you're an architect, you'll probably use this all the damn time. Not in the case of other jobs. I mean, can you think of another job besides an architect that actually uses one of these compasses? This compass, basically the ones I've seen, like one is a pencil, the other, of course, is a little pointy thing. You point at the table itself, and you spin it around. That's how the thing works. And you have to basically, well, first put little dots there, and then you circle it. Yep, that's pretty much what you do. And they had whatever, like you have 3 circles, and wherever is middle, that's pretty much your answer. And they go to the park, and then they say, oh yeah, he's underneath the oak tree, even though he's not actually there. And then they go and, well, they find his umbrella in the tree with a message. And you have to basically wrap it around the thing. This actually is, according to Conan, I believe this is based upon a real life way to basically translate messages. Like, have this ship, wrap it around the umbrella, and basically just read it. And then they come up with basically that it's at the library. Okay, so they go to the library, and they run into Rachel and Serena. Which, of course, well, George refers to her as, like, oh, the brown-haired girl. And she's like, the brown-haired girl. He's like, oh, really? Auntie Sonico. Oh, that made her angry, so she basically bopped him in the head. I mean, what is with women basically loving to hit and get George? Yeah. I mean, first, Hybrid hits him by slapping him for ruining basically a chili that Amy spent all day making. Yeah, ruining that by having a soccer ball in it and get all over her clothes. Yeah, this also led to her kidnapping plot. In the case of this, yeah, because he basically insulted her for calling her old, despite the fact she's not that much older than he is. He's like 10 years younger than she is. She's 7, she's like 17. If you want to think of someone who's old, it's Agasa. Yep. And then they get a message and they decipher that he's at the shrine. And they cut to him at the shrine. He's just walking out, basically, discussing a place, basically, where they can eat after they find him. And then a fan shows up completely out of nowhere, creating a lot of skid marks. He sees that there's a kidnapped middle school girl inside. And then he's knocked out with a frickin' stun gun. Yep. Just zap him in the neck, knock his glasses off, cracking them. And later on, the junior detective league arrives in there. And of course, Hyber is the one who notices his glasses on the ground. Not Conan. Hybra. She's the one who notices. And of course, they deduce that he was actually kidnapped for real. And then basically figure out a way to contact them. Like, okay, he does not take badge. And George's like, wait, he has mine because he brought mine for repairs. And of course, well, he opens thing. He accidentally says Sichi, which is basically Conan's real name. And Amy's like, Sichi? This is never brought up again after this. This is just so hilarious. The fact that Amy might have suspected that Conan might be somebody else. Yep. It's like, oh, it's Conan. Okay. Yeah. And of course, he kind of gives vague description of where he is, like some abandoned building on the second floor. He's like a person in blue. And Conan finds the thing later, and it's a crew net, something used in construction work. Yep. And they searched for a while, and apparently it took time to contact the police. Yeah, he contacted the police, everyone continues searching. Eventually, they do find the building pretty easily, and then Conan goes outside with Hybra. And what do the three do? They stay outside with a crew net. Yep. Conan takes out the male kidnapper, who's got a frickin' lead pipe, with his trusty soccer ball and power shoes. Knocks him out pretty easily. The woman's like, screw this, I'm out of here. Jumps out the window. Maybe possibly going to kill it. Maybe to injure herself, but you can call him the crew net, tied up really quickly, and then the police show up. You see a cameo by Tagagi, the only cop here in this episode. Now, as for why this kidnapping took place, no idea, because the thing just ends abruptly. Like, wow, it just ends so freaking abruptly. Like, wow, it's just so something, the fact that this thing just ended like this. I mean, I don't think there was a post-credit scene. I don't think so. Now, let me take a look here. I don't think there was. No, surprisingly there wasn't. But the thing just ends basically on just some music, and of course the kidnappers are arrested, and the girl is simply just given blanket. And yeah, the thing with this OVA is it's good. It's much better than the last one, but it has a slight problem. It's like the person who wrote this basically thought that the scavenger hunt was boring, or at least somebody told him was boring, so threw in the gossip being kidnapped completely at random, and having this girl who just happened to be there. We don't know who this woman is. They never reveal this woman's name. We don't know the name of the kidnappers or why the heck they're doing this. Yeah, it's like the second half is a complete mystery. It's like, oh, Agasa's been kidnapped. Not the first time in the damn series. Oh no, this is the second time this has happened. Last time it happened was because basically that he just was walking about and got caught by two people who were actually just janitors. And they thought he was rich, despite the fact he's not. Yeah. Good OVA. It's like good mostly. I mean, it's great to see Rachel appear in an OVA. Oh yeah, and the thing ends like right after they basically freeze people. They go to the restaurant and it's like, oh good, highway for second floor. It's like, oh, order something. And then Richard Moore shows up basically to spoil it. It's like, oh yeah, we get this nice place, get the owners of two beautiful sisters. And oh, this will be nice. It won't be highway for a while. I'll get highway for him. And Conan's like, yeah, it'd be a while until it would be good highway for him until he tells Rachel about it. Yeah, funny ending, but it's almost like that the people who wrote this basically really like doing the scavenger hunt. I liked it too, but it's almost like the whole real life kidnapping thing, the real kidnapping, that felt like was very last minute. It's like somebody thought that, hey, let's throw in some action here, despite the fact that we probably don't need any action. Yeah, let's throw some action in and just, well, do something with that. It is interesting though that Amy kind of hears Agasa call Conan Sichi for the first time. As far as I know, she has never heard him actually do this, either in the series or in the film. Not even the damn manga. Basically, he does this. He's always very careful not to reveal his real name in front of people who doesn't really know who he really is. But Mitch and George don't say anything about it. Matter of fact, you don't see a scene from them. It's nice that we see the adorable Amy say something about it. Well, she questions it, and then nothing is followed up with it at all. I mean, she has talked to Conan about it. She has talked to Agasa. She talked to Hybra about it. I mean, she's the only person who's there knows about it. Yeah, but that's all I gotta say about this particular OVA. It's good, but man, the attack ending. It's not terrible. It's just that, man, I kind of wish we got a little bit more explanation. I mean, that whole real life kidnapping thing that happened in the last seemed like the last 10, halfway through. They just had to throw this in because they felt like it. And this particular case is loosely related to what happened with the film. I looked up. Apparently, it is related to the film, very loosely. The only similarity is the fact there's a scavenger hunt. That's it. Oh yeah, and apparently George's detective badge got damaged because his mom put it in the wash with his clothes. Yep. Aside from that, that's really it. So yeah, that's it for this particular view. Tomorrow I got a boatload of videos to do tomorrow. I thought I was gonna do another video today, but I honestly don't have time to. So yeah, expect to see about 3 videos for Case Closed, two for the OVAs, one for the Case Closed film, the 12th film, and a Magic Round. Basically about 4 Case Closed videos, along with reviews for One Piece, Dragon Ball Super, and Bard. So roughly about 7, maybe 8 videos tomorrow, okay? But until I see you next video, bye.